بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome back, dear viewers. I welcome you to the episode number 2 of the series which we have started on the book Al-Fawā'id by Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah. I welcome you with the Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, mercy and blessings be upon all of you. Alhamdulillah, we are meeting once again. In the first episode, we had done an orientation towards the book Al-Fawā'id. We found out the meaning of the word Al-Fawā'id, of the title of the book Al-Fawā'id. We took a look at the life of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim in a very concise manner. Moreover, we had explored that the book Al-Fawā'id has not been arranged like a textbook or like a fiqh book, for example. In fact, Al-Fawā'id is more of a diary. Its setting is more like that of a notebook or a diary wherein pearls of wisdom were captured by Imam Ibn al-Qayyim through a very large period of his lifetime. So here we are in the second episode. We are going to look at the man behind this book, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala. And before we delve into this remarkable book, I believe that it's important that we understand the heart who produced this book. We understand the scholar, and we understand this man whose life was a living example of sincerity, of worship and courage and standing up for the truth. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah. So today in episode number 2, I want to take you through his life, not in an academic manner, not in a dry academic or subject manner, but instead in a way that helps us feel who he was, that helps us connect with him and ultimately benefit from his wisdom. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he was born on 7th of Safar in the year 691 Hijri, which is 1292 CE, that is according to the Common Era, just outside of Damascus in a town, Zura, which is referred as Zura. His full name is Abu Abdullah Shamsuddin Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr ibn Ayyub al-Zur'i al-Dimashqi al-Hanbali. I repeat again, his full name is Abu Abdullah Shamsuddin Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr ibn Ayyub الزرعي الدمشقي الحنبلي رحمه الله تعالى. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he grew up in a beautiful environment of knowledge and scholarship. His father, whose name is Abu Bakr ibn Ayyub, his father was known as the Qayyim. Qayyim means the principal or the caretaker. The caretaker of the school known as al-Jawziyah, or in other words, Madrasa al-Jawziyah. There was a very famous madrasa in Damascus, the city which even exists today. It's known as one of the most oldest habited cities of the world. And there used to be a madrasa, there used to be a school known as al-Jawziyah. So the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, Abu Bakr ibn Ayyub, he was the Qayyim of al-Jawziyah. That is why he is known as Qayyim al-Jawziyah. And when we talk about Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, we say he is Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, meaning the son of the principal of al-Madrasa al-Jawziyah. This is a fact which is rarely known by many people, and it's important that you know. So when we say Ibn al-Qayyim, we are actually referring to the title which was given to the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. So when we say the full title, we say Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. And in short, very commonly we know him as Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah. That's where his title Ibn al-Qayyim comes from. So imagine this child, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, growing up in a family filled with scholars. His father himself being the principal and caretaker of Madrasa al-Jawziyah. He's growing up inside a madrasa. He's growing up in a family filled with scholars. And he was introduced to the quest for knowledge from a very young age. Every corner filled with books. Students are reciting the Quran, they're learning the meanings of the Quran. The scholars are teaching fiqh, hadith, tafsir, etc. And this was his playground. This was his school. This was his university all at once. So from a very young age, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah, he memorized the entire Quran. He was fond of Arabic grammar, tafsir, hadith, poetry, and he loved knowledge so much that he used to copy entire manuscripts by his hand just to memorize them. So just imagine this way of gaining knowledge by writing down the entire manuscripts in order to memorize them is one of the effective ways for learning knowledge. This is something which you can take away with you in order to memorize any text, in order to memorize any poem or any classical literature. One of the best ways is that you write it down in order to memorize them. Because when you are writing it down, you are engaging all your senses. You are engaging your eyes, you are engaging your hands, your brain is completely focused on it. In fact, this is also one of the ways through which the Quran is memorized in several parts of Africa. They have a wooden slate which is always reusable. Students write the verses of the Quran. First of all, they learn how to write the verses of the Quran, and when they have to memorize, they write it down on the wooden tablet, and once they are done with that particular page, they erase it and they redo that again. This is another faida from the various Fawaid which you can take along with you. So he grew up breathing knowledge, and this shaped him completely. Let me mention in a brief manner about the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah. As I mentioned that the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he is Shaykh Abu Bakr ibn Ayyub al-Zur'i rahimahullah. And his title was Qayyim al-Jawziyya, the principal or the caretaker of al-Madrasa al-Jawziyya. And throughout his life, he served this madrasa. After he passed away, his children and his grandchildren, they became famous for that. So even his children and grandchildren got the title of Qayyim al-Jawziyya. Imam Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he mentions about the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, saying that he is the Shaykh, the worshipper, Abu Bakr ibn Ayyub al-Zur'i al-Hanbali, the Qayyim of al-Jawziyya, a righteous man, straightforward, a noble man, and he had passed away suddenly on the night of Sunday, 19th of Dhul Hijjah at Madrasa al-Jawziyya. His funeral was performed after Dhuhr Salah in the Jama' Masjid, in the large masjid of Damascus, and he was buried at Bab as-Saghir. His funeral was witnessed by many, and the people praised him greatly. May Allah have mercy upon him. He is the father of Al-Allama Shamsuddin Muhammad ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, the one who authored several and many extremely beneficial works on Islam and Islamic knowledge. Imam, the father of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he was very knowledgeable concerning the regulations of inheritance. He was an expert in the field of inheritance. And Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, meaning his actual name is Shamsuddin, he learned about inheritance from his father himself. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim had many brothers. Among them was Zainuddin Abul Farj Abdul Rahman ibn Abu Bakr. So he was younger to him. He was born about 2 years after Shamsuddin, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. Let's look at the children of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. Among the children of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim was his son Abdullah. He is known as Sharafuddin and Jamaluddin Abdullah ibn al-Imam Shamsuddin Muhammad. Abdullah was extremely intelligent and he possessed an excellent memory. He memorized Surah Al-A'raf in just 2 days. He recited the Quran while leading the Salah in the year 731, while he was still about 9 years of age. Subhanallah. So he is the one who took charge of teaching at As-Sadriyah. As-Sadriyah is another madrasa in Dimashq, in Damascus, after his father had passed away, meaning after Imam Ibn al-Qayyim passed away. And his biographers have always praised him for his knowledge, his piety, his taqwa, his intellect, and his ghira for Allah's sake. Ghira is the protective jealousy or the sense of jealousy for the sake of protecting the religion. Among the children of Imam Ibn al-Qayyim is also Ibrahim. He is al-Allama, the grammarian and the great faqih Burhanuddin Ibrahim ibn Shamsuddin. He too learned from his father and several other teachers. He used to issue legal verdicts, the fatwa, and he also used to teach at As-Sadriyah. He was an expert in grammar. He even wrote a commentary on Alfiyah ibn Malik titled Irshad al-Salik ila Halli Alfiyati ibn Malik. So he was affluent, The other son, Ibrahim, Burhanuddin Ibrahim, he was affluent and he left behind tremendous wealth, approaching almost 100,000 dirhams. So these information which I'm sharing with you is just to highlight the fact that everyone related to Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, whether his father or whether his children, all of them were deeply connected with the roots of knowledge, the roots of seeking Islamic knowledge, seeking beneficial knowledge. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim ensured that this legacy was passed down to his children. So his children, his grandchildren, they continued the legacy of being the caretakers of Madrasa al-Jawziya.